I don't know. I wasn't with you when you did any equipment checks, so I wasn't here to ask. Did you turn off the Microsoft thing that tries to mess with us?
I did.
Okay.
I absolutely did. I went in and made sure it was turned off.
Okay. I was busy doom scrolling on the couch. So. After I watched 2 videos that hyped me up to want to work, and then I had to remember, not the time.
No.
So we're going to proceed as if we're here. We are here a couple minutes early. Hello.
Hi.
Kayla Lords.
John Brownstone.
Of Loving BDSM, where we help kinksters like you have happy, healthy power exchange relationships. We're doing an extra special, not part of our routine schedule live stream. 1, we need to make up for last month because we didn't get to do that one. And 2, we hit our arbitrary goal of 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube. And it's still inching up every day, which is lovely. If you are new here, I can't promise we won't scare you off. We're chaotic, but with good intentions. So, hello. We are here technically a couple minutes early before we start. It doesn't matter. All this is chaos from here on out. I'm happy to do Q&A as we go forward, but we don't start with that. We have to ease into this. Yeah. That's like a 10 o'clock our time in about 30 minutes thing. So we're just gonna ease into things.
Ease into it, yes.
And I'm gonna say hello to people. Okay. Hi Fung, hi Jay, hi Claire, hi Pinky, hi Tayshu, hi Susan, hi Kim, hi Mally, hi Enchanted Wings, hi Clockwork, hi DS Bunny, hi Jess, hi Mr. Fister. Hello. I know you can't say what you say because it's not time yet. No.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of people, and we are happy with the people here. But you like to wait until is it a number? Is it a time? Is it a vibe? When are you?
It's a vibe more than anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Just try to allow for as many people to. Sometimes people run a little late.
And then, so that you can grace them with your hello, and so that they know that you are talking to them. Is that what it is?
Not necessarily. I say,
Actually, it's because you're a good host. I'm a person that would forget to say hello. That's why I have to. This is the routine. I say hello to the people I can see in the beginning. Hi, Jen. Hi, Andre. Hi, Candace. Hi, Goth Dolly. And so, if I don't make it part of my routine, I'm a Southern woman raised by generations of Southern and very country, like back hills country people. And you would think they had not taught me manners. I know I'm supposed to greet people and I'm supposed to say hello. It's the awkwardness. It's the fact that my brain just is not geared that way. And so if I don't make it part of my routine, I will not remember to greet any fucking body. Not in person, not online. It's not because I'm not happy that you're here. It's not because I don't care. It's because when we're here to do a thing, I'm here to do the thing. The niceties just don't even they don't even enter my brain hole. And you're the kind one that anytime we go somewhere, virtually or in person, you're going to go say hello to everybody you know. And then before we leave, you're going to say goodbye to not only everybody you know, which is fine. I mean, that's apparently a social thing. I would not understand this. You're going to go find the hosts. You're going to thank them for hosting. You're going to say goodbye. You're going to say, it's been a great time. Thank God for you. I would just be considered the rudest bitch ever if it was left up to me. Because once I'm ready to go, I'm going to say goodbye to the people that are directly in front of me and or the people I have the greatest attachment to, because I want them to know I'm going, because they're my people, they're my friends. Everybody else, no. I'll remember that I should have done what you just sort of do when we're about 10 miles down the road and I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot to say thank you or goodbye. So I'm very glad I'm attached to you, because you do that and I don't have to think about it. So yeah, so I think that's where the hello everybody thing, that's what that's about. That's because you're a nice person and you're polite and you remember social niceties. Thank God one of us does. I am that person that I know it's overwhelming for people who do not expect it. If I am supposed to be talking to you about a thing, when I see you, there is no, hey, hello, how are you, my name is. It's, here's what we need to talk about. I'm down to business. There's a purpose. And so let's just get into it. Also, look, I practice what I want to say in my head. I run through pretend conversations in my head all day, every day. It's very noisy up here. And unfortunately, I forget to practice the part of, hi, how you doing? I'm good. Blah, blah, blah. I hate that part. I mean, I like it because it's abrupt when somebody does it to me. I do not appreciate it when somebody does it to me, unless I know them and or I'm expecting it. If we've already kind of had our side conversation about this moment is when we're going to talk, and if you're, especially if you're close to me, my closest people, they do not come and say, hey, how you doing? They hug my neck like they're trying to choke me, but it's from love. And then we get straight down into it. That's just what we do. But not everybody, I'm not on that level with everybody. For the record, this energy, no, I don't know where it's coming from, but it is not from what's in my glass because I've just started. It doesn't look like it because it doesn't fill this glass. And I think, was it Andre or was it Mr. Fister? Somebody asked what I'm drinking, and I found it in the grocery store today. It's Cayman Jack Zero Sugar Margarita. That's not close enough for anybody to see. That's fine. In this little bottle, it is delicious. It is so delicious. It's sweet and it's tart from the lime. It claims there's alcohol in here. I don't really taste anything. I've only had a few sips, but it's lime juice and agave nectar and probably other things. It's delicious. It is so delicious. But I also have in the fridge from the grocery store a 6-pack of, they called it jam cider because it's 3 berries. Like, I couldn't tell if it was all 3 of the berry flavors mushed together in one or if it was like a variety pack. And 2 of the cans are strawberry and 2 are blackberry. And I don't know. It was kind of purple and it wasn't apple. And I went, let's try it. I'm being as whimsical as I am capable of being.
You're being adventurous.
As capable as
adventurous.
As I am able to do that. Thank y'all all for the well wishes and the congrats on us hitting the 10K mark. Yeah.
Thank you.
I know that not only is our topic very niche. Oh, apparently the internet is debating niche versus niche. I've been saying niche for 44 years. I don't know. But we're a very niche topic. There's nothing concise or professional about us that would encourage skeptical newcomers. You have to feel our vibe in 30 seconds and be like, yeah, this is a vibe where I want to hang out, or not. And so we're a slow grower everywhere. We are growers, not showers around here. And I'm okay with that.
One way to put it.
I'm okay with it. But we have technically been putting shit out on YouTube for 5 years.
5 years now.
Now, another part of that is when most of your videos get demonetized, the algorithm does not favor you.
Not your friend, yeah.
But every time I think about trying to, which is the professional thing to do, to create content for the algorithm, like still, with keeping people in mind, but to care what the algorithm thinks and to do it in the way that I get bored. I'm like, if I can't do it the way I want to do it, and I can't just, have the people who vibe with us find us, I just don't want to do it. So here we are. Here we are. So yeah, it's taken us 5 years to get to 10K.
Wow.
But it's fine. The nice thing is the folks who are here, most of you want to be here.
Yeah.
And you're mostly like easygoing, kind, and or don't give a fuck. Every once in a while, we'll get comments. I'm like, why are you even here? You can go. You are not invited to my party because you are Judgy McJudgerson. It's okay. It's fun.
Oh, goodness.
So, we do have cake. It is just still in the fridge. It's a little mini cake we got from the bakery. I wanted My first one that I wanted is decorated like a flower and has so much frosting on it. But I was like, well, that's not very, it's beautiful, but it's not very celebratory. So we got the one that has balloons and on it. But the flower had so much frosting.
Yeah.
I could have just like licked the top of that cake. I mean, laying claim to said cake. Now, we all know inflation, greedflation, shrinkflation, all of that is very real. The cake we got, we went to Publix because so we're going to get a cake if we're going to get a cake. We knew we were getting a mini one because it's just the two of us. And the 14-year-old can have some after this if we don't eat it all. But like we knew it was really just for the two of us. Those things used to be $9.99 and they are $14.99 now. And they're not any bigger and they might be a little bit smaller. Not by much, but a little bit smaller.
Yep.
Like, God. Hey, Silent. Glad you were able to make it.
Hey.
Hi, Scuba Ninja. I want to say hi to more folks because we are here celebrating. Hi, Bad Cat. Hi, Christy. Somebody's going to be the double hello because I won't remember I said hello to you. Because y'all know how I am. Okay, I think actually I have kept up fairly well. Mally, did I say hi to you? Well, you might be my double hi. Because I feel like I said hi, and now I feel like I didn't. Now you're my triple. So, hi, Mally. You know, Silent, JB clocked it. He said, I bet they'll watch on mobile for a little bit. Hi, X. I'm going to tell you what I tell JB when he's trying to fool with something I'm doing in the passenger seat. Please focus. Focus.
Yeah.
Drive. Focus. That's me being bossy. I'm done now.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Welcome, y'all. Glad you're here tonight.
Oh my God. Oh, you watching the Stanley Cup Finals is it the Lightning that's hockey for us for Florida Tampa? Is the Lightning in the Stanley Cup Finals? I don't keep up with that shit.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I
either.
barely knew Tampa had a hockey team until while we were living kind of in that area. They were winning and top of the, I don't know, whatever, for a couple of years. It was like, oh yeah. Also, why is that a sport we're good at? Ice is not our natural habitat.
Tampa Bay, they used to have a soccer team.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. Okay.
And I believe they had Highlight at one time. So
that doesn't surprise me. My childhood, I was living in Florida, and I felt like every other commercial on local network TV was for Highlight. I mean, as a kid, I thought it was this massive thing. It was only like when I left the state of Florida that I went, oh, nobody else seems to know what this is. Not that I could have described the sport to anybody either, but I was at least aware of it.
Yeah.
Lord. Panthers. The Florida Panthers?
Yeah, there is.
I didn't know that either. Like, I know Jacksonville Jaguars, but that's a whole different sport ball. So, and I mean, I know hockey is a sport, but I can't call it sport ball because that's a puck.
True.
I mean, is it aggressive figure skating? I could get on board with that.
Okay.
Combative figure skating? I'm good. I could go for that. I don't want to watch it. I don't care. If you like it, I'm so happy for you. If it's a sport, I don't know. I've already I get bored. Like, I want to go to an actual live game, but mostly because, maybe not now, because my ability to be out in public like that is much different than it used to be. But, you know, I want to go to the concessions. I want to listen to the music. If it's a sport with like a halftime or a, hey, we do weird shit during breaks, I want to watch that. I like the vibe of, I don't like the crowd. I don't like the noise. I don't like the traffic, but I like the vibe of a, like, being there in person kind of game. But I mostly only want to go to games that have marching bands. So that does tend to leave it to football. And I really don't give a flying fuck about football. I really, So battle skates. Thank you, Silent. I like that. Battle skates. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Andre, that actually makes sense, saying because Florida has a very favorable tax situation if you make the kind of cash they do. I mean, when we have, like, in theory talked about not living in Florida, I've had to go, okay, but we can only go where they don't have a state income tax because I like not paying that.
That's true.
I want my tax dollars to, like, have roads and mass transit and the things we need, but I enjoy not paying state income tax. So, yeah, DS Bunny, the people watching, but is really the fun part. But yeah, the crowd, the noise. I am starting to finally embrace wearing more noise canceling things. I have avoided it for a long time because noise canceling means I can't be as hypervigilant as I would like to be, and I might miss something around me that it would bother me to miss. But over the past few years, I feel like I've become more sensitive to noises, and so sometimes what I just desperately want to do is to block out the noise more than anything. I actually, like, have enjoyed working in the garage wearing my little noise canceling headphones. I need Bluetooth ones so I can listen to my podcast, because was I out in the garage pouring resin the other day listening to my podcast, and JB and I needed to share the space, but he needed his loud big boy tools and that I have to wear noise canceling headphones for, because it's just so loud and grating. And so it meant I could not listen to my podcast because these are just like analog headphones, y'all. And I don't do earbuds. I hate how they feel. They never stay in. It's a I don't like earbuds. I don't like earbuds. Don't like earbuds. Is it conceivable that there's some like $500 luxury pair that would probably feel amazing in my ears? Yeah, I'm not the person to spend that kind of money. Even if I had it, that is not what I'm spending my money on. So I will go with over my ear actual headphones, but I need something where I can still listen to my podcast, because that's when I get to listen to my podcast, is when I'm working in the garage and pouring resin.
That's very true.
Or sanding resin, or doing anything otherwise with probably resin. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, okay, good. We started out nice and chaotic.
Yeah, of course.
How could we not? You know what? I feel like when we do the evening live streams, even though we know that we'll do Q&A, starting at 10, blah, it's about 15 minutes from now. I feel like I have permission to be chaotic, because we're not trying to stay focused on a topic. We're not trying to impart information or something to think about or our own experiences. Like, we're just trying to hang out, and this is like the time where I feel less guilty for being chaotic.
Gotcha.
So.
Well, I was also going to say, excuse me, I think at 10 o'clock we need to...
have cake?
Yes.
Yay! I really wish it was that flower cake. I should have at least taken a picture of it. It was so pretty. So pretty. Oh, yes. And this is not new, but we buy alcohol so infrequently that every time this happens, it's a stab to my heart. So we go through self-checkout, even with our cider and our our margarita flavored cider, essentially. It's not a cider, but I don't know. It's a malt drink is what it said. Whatever. Anyway, so we go through self-checkout. I'm scanning. And of course, it won't let you move forward without a person who works there to verify that you are indeed over 21. When my hair was dyed a funky color, I might have gotten asked. It would have been rare, but I might. Not now. She was probably between our ages. Like, she wasn't my age, she wasn't your age, she was somewhere in between. She just smiled at us, scanned her ID, and walked away. It was like, oh, I know my age, and I know that while I don't know what my age looks like, I know that I look like me, and, I'm fortunate not to have, like, wrinkles yet or anything like that. But, like, it still hurts a little bit when they don't even have to ask. Like, when there's no question that you're over 20. Like, we can't even squint and pretend. Like, no, that time has flown.
That's
it is
long gone.
gone.
Oh yeah.
But having to be reminded of it, just, oh, God, it hurts. It hurts so deep. But also, I didn't have to dig out my fucking ID, so there's that. DS Bunny, I have started to embrace the fact that, yes, y'all clearly love the chaos because you keep coming back for it. I don't know. I want to one day be immune to outside, unasked for, unearned, on their part, criticism. Like, I like the concept of, if you don't, like, if I'm not asking for the advice, I don't have to pay attention to it. If, what is it, that Tom Holland thing? I've heard it about a million times. It's like, somebody has a problem with me. Do they have my number? Have they texted me? If you don't have my number, you don't know me well enough to have a problem with me. Like, I want that fucking attitude. Like, I want to just, and I just don't have it. Sometimes I do, and about some things I do. But I want it, like, universally. And I don't know. I just don't have it. Not yet, anyway. But yes, Silent, that is sage advice. Remember, younglings, the next time you get carded could be your last.
True.
And you never know when that day will be. It's a little bit like, and the first time I heard this, I sobbed, and I was like, am I about to, am I hormonal right now? Is this PMS? What the fuck? Along that same lines, the first time I ever heard somebody go, you never know the last time you get to pick up your child and carry them until it's past. Like, now, when I heard that for the first time, did I have a teenager and an elementary school kid? Yes. It still got me. It's still painful.
Wow.
In Chain of Wings, I honestly don't know if I want the feedback or not. Like, I can see where, yeah, if somebody's marking you down and they're not telling you what the hell you did wrong, I can absolutely see, like, what the fuck, that would be an aggravation. And yet, I don't know. I don't want to know. Unless it's somebody I went to and said, I want to know your feedback, then I definitely want to know. That's the only reason I would have, like, let them have the ability to, judge me in some way. But, yeah. No. I don't know. I keep trying to, I'm like, does this concern over... I don't want to worry what everybody thinks. That's exhausting and stifling, and it's probably not healthy, and all the things. I think it's important to care what some people think, the people who are important to you, the people who matter. But I was going somewhere with that, and I lost it. It's going to be a long night if I'm already losing it at 9:50.
Oh, boy.
There was a thing, I was going somewhere with that. Train didn't get derailed. It got lost in the mist. I know trains are terrestrial and they're on tracks, but my train is in the Bermuda Triangle, has been picked up somewhere, will be found probably on another planet. It's just gone. It's gone into the fog. It's gone. Damn. It's Lady of the Lake. It was on the track. It went into the fog. Poof. Gone. Just gone. I had a point. Fucking hell, man. I had a point. I don't know what it was. It's gone.
Don't know what to tell you.
I don't either. I'm not drinking fast enough. These are really good, but also I want to try the other one. But I want more of these. These are so good. Oh my God, these are so good.
I'm just here for the cake.
I mean, same. But you're the one in charge. You said 10 o'clock. That's 9 more minutes. Mm-hmm. But if you want cake sooner, I'm not going to tell you no. I'm going to say thank you, Daddy, and we're going to keep on rolling. I realize I don't quite say that often enough in that way. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I'm silly chaos mode, because literally right before JB hit start streaming, I was finishing watching a reel that hit really close to home. Like, I could really relate to that person. And so I'm tearing up, not like crying hard, but I'm tearing up, and I'm sending it to him. I'm like, no, you probably already watched this, but I need you to watch this with me in mind, right? Like, he wouldn't have if he had seen it already. Anyway, whatever. It's meaningful if I send it and go, no, but really, right? Like, pay attention to this one. So then I was telling him not about it, but I was like, oh my God, that hit really close to home. And I totally recognized his feelings. And then I started crying for real. 5 seconds later, he's like, I'm ready to hit the button. I'm like, oh fuck. Let me suck it up and dry it up. Oh my God. So. I'm already hot and sweaty, and we're barely any time in.
Wow.
Yep. And I can't even blame the alcohol. This is like probably like 0.5% or something. I don't know. It's delicious though. This shit, you could keep this on hand for me. I would need a little bit more alcohol content to really like drink one and just relax. But as I have mentioned to him a few times, and I said in the middle of the Publix, I was like, oh my God, I'm jonesing for margaritas. And he's like, margaritas and chips and queso. I'm like, yes. But also, really for me, doing that comes with spending 3 hours in a Mexican restaurant with my BFF, whom I have not seen in over 5 years now.
Yeah.
And we're both the type of people that, if we don't see one another, we don't remember to text each other. And so we'll go like 6 to 8 months between texting each other. We're still friends. We still adore one another, but we're like just disconnected that way.
Yeah.
But you could take me for margaritas and chips and queso, and I'd be okay with that.
True.
You would have to pour me into the vehicle before we came home. And then out, like, I don't know, would you pour me out of I don't know how you'd get me out of it. I don't know what metaphor to use, but I would need a lot of assistance because it's been a hot minute since I had actual, even though restaurants are going to go light on it, actual tequila, like laced drink. So I'm pretty sure that goes straight to my head. Oh man, though, I could totally go over that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, DS Benning. I took a picture the other day. Was out and about with the kid. What were we doing? Appointments or something?
One of the appointments.
I don't remember. But we're out and about, and the temperature gauge on the dash read 102.
Yeah.
I took that picture. I sent it to JB. I was like, oh my God, we're already here. It's like only the 1st of June or whatever. Before I got home, it went up to 104. And it was only when we got to our side of town where we have a lot more green space and trees that the temperature started to come down. Yeah, I was on the side of town that's been really, really developed, and it's just nothing but concrete, and man, those temperatures skyrocket. Yeah. So, yeah, when we are puddles, we've been doing we had a week of our plan of Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's our current like plan to do 5:30 a.m. or close to 5:30 a.m. walks. I get hot and sweaty, but it's because I start out as a combustible engine. I'm already having a hot flash when I put walking clothes on. So I get hot and sweaty, but I can tell that no, really, it's actually kind of mild-ish out here. But the moment the sun comes up,
oh yeah,
it's like misery. When we went to the grocery store tonight, it was still like walking into a wet blanket. It was bad.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, when I see the type of temperatures that Tayshu's talking about, where he is, I'm like, I don't need to find out the difference between dry heat and humidity. I'm good. I'll just take my wet blanket feel. Thanks. I mean, I don't want any of it. I would like it to just always be 70 with 0% humidity. That's where I'm at. We've gone without real rain for so long our grass is crunchy. The nice part about that is we are not mowing it every weekend yet. But our weather report keeps telling us every day we've got a 10% chance of rain. So yesterday, out of nowhere, like the bottom dropped out of the one cloud over our house. We had 5 minutes of essentially torrential downpour. It went away. I mean, this is Florida weather. That's what it does. And then it was hot as fuck outside. It was so miserable. It was so miserable. Yay, cake! You gonna show it to the camera?
Yep.
So everybody can see it. Yay, we're gonna have cake. It's just little balloons. I want to run my finger through the frosting, but I know you're trying to like keep it pretty. You could probably go closer. We're on auto.
True.
And I can move my head out of the way.
I think they get the idea.
Yeah, just don't accidentally drop it, please and thank you.
No.
I mean, I'm down if you put it in front of us and we each have a fork. I can eat cake like that too.
Actually, I was going to cut it in quarters.
Yeah, that's what I envisioned. You know I want lots of frosting, right?
Of course.
I know.
So we're done.
Yes, it's very tiny. Technically, in the microwave, we have a part of a sheet cake I made a few days ago, but that was not celebratory enough. Yeah, I think it was on sale for $2 off, but they priced that little cake at regular price at $14.99. As I said earlier, it used to be $9.99. And that was a good day when you could get it on sale when its regular price was $9.99 because it would go on sale depending on the sale, either $6.99 or $7.99. Oh my God. Not anymore. Not anymore. Oh no, Silent, I cannot eat it with my hands. I don't like anything sticky on my hands. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Oh, no. No. I don't like anything sticky, gloopy. Oh my gosh. I make eggs for somebody in this house, one of the three of us, nearly every day. And I can make it through cracking all the eggs I have to crack for whatever I'm making, scrambled eggs, whatever we're doing. But then I immediately have to wash my hands because egg white probably got on it. And I don't like that feeling either. Yeah, DS Bunny, if it was not for this celebration, we would not have purchased that cake. We would have waited till it went on like a good sale, or we just wouldn't have gotten it at all. And actually what we used to do from Publix, we haven't done it in ages, they will often sell cake by the slice. They have it prepackaged and like out in the middle of the bakery area. And we would do that, but it actually comes out once each person gets a slice of cake. It's very expensive. We might as well have just purchased a cake. So we don't do that very often. So. But yeah, I can hear him in the kitchen. He's cutting slices of cake. Very excited. I'm pretty sure it's probably a yellow cake on the inside, which is fine. It's not my favorite. I prefer chocolate, but that is okay. It is technically 10 o'clock. It's 10:01 by our clock, so we can officially start the Q&A for anybody who might have a question. The way this works, to ask a question, a couple things to keep in mind. One, when you ask a question, please tag us in live chat, type @ and start typing Loving BDSM. It should pop up for you to select. That lights it up so we can actually see it. Two, if your question requires lots and lots of context and backstory and takes more than one, maybe part of a second entry to ask, it's too much for this forum, please use our contact page on our website so that maybe it's an upcoming episode and we answer it that way. 3, if we do not get to your question right away, please do not spam the chat. We have moderators whom we love, adore, and trust, and they will smack your hand and put you in the corner, and we will support them all the way. Yes. So, now, if anybody has questions, feel free to go ahead and ask. In between getting questions, we will chat. We will be chaotic, and we will hang out and eat cake, and I will maybe have more to drink. And it was a yellow cake.
Happy 10K.
Thank you. Happy 10K to you, too. Thank every one of y'all for being here, making it possible for me to have cake. I really appreciate it. Hi, Eva. Mr. Spock, did I say hello to you? Or are you my second duplicate hello? Hello, Mr. Spock, if I did not say it. I know I thought it, but I also know that doesn't mean anything. Oh, I just like frosting. I swear I could just have a bowl of frosting. In college, the first bit of freedom I really reveled in was freedom of food, right? Like it was, I was raised, like a lot of people, I was raised in the household of you will eat everything on your plate, no matter what, even if you're full, whatever. Was raised that way, but I was also raised with the, ooh, don't eat these things, they're bad for you, in a way that was restrictive enough that that's all I really wanted. So freshman year of college was when I discovered that you can just like buy cake frosting, even if you don't have a cake to frost. You just need a spoon. I also, a college roommate taught me this. You can buy cake mix and brownie batter or brownie mix. You don't have to have an oven. You just gotta put the ingredients in there and then get you a spoon. Needless to say that old, sad, tired freshman 15 was no joke. No joke at all. So, yeah. Yeah. Regular, and I mean, even I think after I divorced my first husband, there was sometimes a thing of frosting in the fridge. I didn't just sit and eat a whole thing of frosting, but when I wanted something sweet, I would go in, I would get a spoonful out, I would lick on the spoonful for probably like 10 minutes, and then I was good. That's how much I like frosting. So.
Right. And it's a Publix cake, so double win.
So we started season 2 of Bridgerton a couple nights ago.
Yes.
We watched 2 episodes. And we have not watched any since. We also did not watch the latest Doctor Who episode on Friday.
No.
So I don't even have that.
We tried, we just didn't get there.
No, we didn't. Last night was kind of a weird night.
Yeah.
I either want to know what was going on with the guy who was walking down the street eating out of a pint of ice cream, and or I want to learn from that guy. The idea of it is intriguing, but I know how cranky I get when my hands get cold and I can't warm them up. Or, oh god, if it started to melt and then my hands got sticky. No. I'm a little bit glad for these innocuous frosting colors, because it means that tomorrow I will not see the colors in a different form, if you know what I mean. So I think we all need TARDISes, Kim, for different reasons. I think using it to go get cake from Publix is an excellent reason for a TARDIS. Yep.
Indeed.
Oh my gosh, this is so sweet. I'm just eating the frosting at that point. I haven't even eaten the cake.
I'm enjoying all of it.
Because you are a better human being than I am. And you do things better than I do. You're like just...
You just eat differently than I do.
That is true. Was it yesterday? Was it today? There was something Oh, it was yesterday because I was I needed to record some video stuff for a freelance thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a cookie and a half left on his plate from his lunch. But I know how slow he eats. So I was trying to gauge how long it would take him to eat a cookie and a half. And from experience, I know that can be 10 minutes. But apparently, I think somebody felt a little challenged when I asked. He was like, I will be done in less than 5 minutes. I wish I had timed him. I don't know. Maybe he was done in less than 5 minutes. But I just didn't really have faith that he would be.
Gee, thanks.
Dude, I know how slow you eat. Boom was such a good episode, though.
Yeah.
Which that explains it. Moffat's.
Mm-hmm.
I usually like Moffat's work on Doctor Who episodes.
Yeah.
Boom was really good. You know, T.S. Bunny, that's a good question. I feel like if we're eating it now, and then we're up at least until midnight for the live stream, that probably satisfies the gotta sit upright thing. Poor 14-year-old has not allowed himself to have dessert since the dietitian told him this, because he prefers to be reclined and laying down. His preferred position is mostly flat but kind of contorted and, you know, whatever. And
Yeah.
so what happens is he'll eat his biggest meal right now continues to be dinner, and he'll sit upright, and I'll be like, hey, in the middle of this, do you want to have some dessert? We've got cake, we've got ice cream, we've got Klondike. I'm like, please get calories in your skinny, teeny tiny little body.
Yeah.
And he refuses because until we find out different from the dietitian, in his mind, the moment he eats that dessert, the 3-hour clock starts again. It's like, no, I'm not doing this for any longer than I have to. I want to lay down and be comfortable. And I'm like, oh, poor baby. The only time I eat slow is if I'm talking to somebody. You know, if we're in, like now, talking to you, this is not how slow I would normally eat cake. I'd love to blame it on being a mom and having that experience of trying to catch bites in between while, you know, taking care of little ones. I've been a fast eater since I was a little kid. Like, I don't know if it's just like who I am or if there's some reason I just don't remember, but I'm just a fast eater. But I still want to try some of our local, they're not all local, some of them are chains, but like the smaller places that aren't like the grocery store bakery. I want to try everything, but I want to try that cupcake place whose name I cannot think of. I want to try crumble cookie. I mean, I know crumble cookie gets very mixed reviews. There's a voice actor guy that I don't follow his account, but he pops up in my feed all the time, and if I see him, I'm going to watch what he's doing. And one of his things is he will get, every time there's new flavors from crumble cookie, he'll go get them and he'll review them, and he is very quick to go, oh my god, this is ass, why'd you even bother? Or he'll go, ooh, this one's really good, and I'm like, I just want to know for myself, that's all.
Yeah, I get it.
The only thing I don't like about most, certainly Publix cakes, that's what I have the most experience with. So when I make a layered cake, I want the frosting in between the layers to be thick. I want the frosting all the way around and on top to be thick, because the frosting is my favorite part.
Yeah.
And that is a downside. There's not enough frosting in the middle. Even though there will come a point, like with a piece this big, we would not normally eat a piece this size. It'll become too sweet for me. And it'll become too sweet because of the frosting. I just don't know why the things I love don't love me back, is what I'm saying. Okay. Pinky has a question.
Okay.
Any ideas, resources, or activities to help get back into a submissive mindset? Life has demanded my grown-up version lately. Ooh, I feel that. I miss myself and feeling little. I do not currently have a dom. So there's lots of things you can do. It depends on what you have access to and your, like, what resonates with you. If you have access to in person or online, but I'm thinking in person first, community where you can go to munches, you can go to meetups, especially like if you are, you have a little side. I know in the Orlando community, they will have nights and meetups specifically for littles, like things like that. That can be, if you have access to it, that can be a really good way to kind of get back to yourself.
And submissive roundtables. A lot of places have submissive roundtables that you can attend.
Absolutely. And some places, like, again, Orlando's community, they do things virtually. Ever since 2020, they started doing that. The other thing is to, especially online, frequent the places where there's a lot of submissives are. Submissive Guide, run by Luna Carruthers. Great resource, great site. She has a Discord community that caters primarily to submissives. There are things, I'm gonna plug our thing, but we are not the only thing. We have workbooks like 30 Days of DS and 30 Days of DS Volume 2, where they're designed to be conversation starters if you do have a partner, or journal prompts if you're doing it on your own. And we're not the only one who has resources like that. I believe Rara's not here tonight, but the Pink Kink podcast, I believe they have something similar to that on their Etsy shop. There's lots of resources like that. My point is find a workbook, a journal, something that gives you prompts to think about your kink self, that you can do on your own to learn more about submission and power exchange and whatever else you're interested in kink, and do that on your own and work out what you think about things on your own, and that can maybe help as well. We have 30 Days of DS and 30 Days of DS Volume 2. That is specific to power exchange. Submissive Guide, they have she has several things specifically for submissives. And there's other resources out there too. Like I said, Pink Kink Podcast, Etsy shop, I believe now has workbooks and stuff like that.
Okay.
But seek those kinds of things out if that appeals to you. But yeah, the time you spend as a single submissive, as a single kinkster in general, can be a great time to make kinky friends, online or in person, to have your own like inner community, and to learn new things and figure out how you feel about certain things within kink. Anything else you would add?
Nope, I think you...
I need a sip of my drink.
There you go.
Okay, Mally has a question.
Okay.
What do you do when your dungeon/kink community is on fire? I believe you mean metaphorical fire.
Right. Yeah.
I thought I had seen a post or something that maybe where you had been talking about something. I can tell you what I do when a community I am part of, not necessarily kink, is on fire. And I'm not saying it's the right way or the healthy way, but I know what I did when my sex blogging community caught on fucking fire. I took some steps back.
Yeah.
In the beginning, what I tried to do was be a voice, because I'd been in it longer than some of the other people around me. And I tried to sort of like, I tried to talk to people that were part of the causing the fire. I tried to like mediate. I tried to be supportive. I tried to help keep things together. And I got immediately overwhelmed, and it did not seem to be working. And that is when I took a step back from that community. Yeah. Now, for me, I never fully stepped forward back into that community. I'm not saying that's the right answer either. I think it's help who you think you can help. Take care of yourself in the meantime.
Right.
And sometimes you, depending on what's causing it, the resources you have to help in any way or whatever, and taking care of your own mental, physical, emotional well-being, sometimes you have to walk away, at least temporarily, and let the let it get sorted out in whatever way it's going to, and then figure out if that's still a community you want to be part of. I am not saying that's the exact right way. I just know how I am. And if I can't make a difference, I will not stay and be part of the drama. So, what would you say?
I think the only other thing I would add to that is to make sure the people who really need help are being helped. You know, not every time, but a lot of times these things can, these fires can happen because of consent violation.
That does seem to be the biggest.
You know, so if that's the case, make sure that the people, you know, who have been violated are being taken care of, because a lot of times in the chaos of all something like that, they can be forgotten.
I also, when we've heard about drama in communities we're vaguely associated with, I like to do a gut check on whatever the initial issue is. I'm like, is that something I have done? Is that something I would do? Where would I fall in this if I was in the center of this? And it can be a good time for a gut check, because sometimes you have to like rethink your expectations. I also know that I think this is a very natural human thing to do. When I am close to a person, it's very rare that this happened in my life because I'm not social at all, but when I feel like I air quote know the person who is like the problem child in a situation, I have to stop myself from wanting to just give them the benefit of the doubt. My brain goes there first because I'm like, oh, I'm sympathetic to them. I've gotten better at that. That is not my necessarily gut reaction anymore, but it definitely used to be. And so you have to kind of check yourself. If you are close with the people who are part of the problem, you know, you got to think about that, and you got to try and be objective, and you have to go, whoa, what if this was not involving people I cared about, and, you know, it was people I didn't know? How might I see the situation? And that's, you know, that's valuable stuff to learn about yourself too. But yeah, you help where you can help. You draw in your personal community as close and tight as you can as they want to be.
Right.
And then sometimes you have to back away from all that and let that sort itself out, and then figure out if you have a place there anymore.
Right.
My hand went to sleep. Okay, Goth Dolly has a question. I'm an 11-year vet in the lifestyle as a baby girl sub. My husband is new to the life, but he wants to learn how to be a daddy dom. So any advice on what we can start with? I always like to say, start small. Even though you have lots of experience, start small, because the last thing anybody wants to be is overwhelmed. And I've come around to, and now I always say, start with the thing that sounds the most exciting, fun, sexy, like whatever the dynamic is you're going for. The thing that both of you are like, oh yeah, let's try that. Let's do that. Let's experiment with that. Because I think it takes out a layer of natural resistance. Like if for a partner who's never done this before to start a thing that they don't know enough about and might be worried that they're going to be bad at it, starting in a place where they're not already enthusiastic to try a thing, there could be some resistance. But if you start with the thing that sounds really fun to them, it's usually a pretty good entry point. Also share any resources that you trust on learning about this kind of thing. That could be online communities, that could be your in-person community, that could be books, podcasts, YouTube, like whatever. However they learn, and whatever resources you trust, if you haven't already, start sharing those with them. Because you can tell them a lot, you can guide them as much as they will allow themselves to be guided, but they have to take on the responsibility of learning on their own time and in their own way as well. You know? What else would you say?
I think I would say 30 Days of DS would be very good for this.
I think so too.
Right?
We shall toot our own horn one more time. It is available in our Etsy shop. What we do with that is they're prompts / conversation starters, but there's links to places where we've talked about that. So if a person comes to that day's prompt and they're like, I don't even know what the hell this means, we offer resources so people can learn. So yes, 30 Days of DS. I
See?
highly recommend.
That's a very good resource.
I made it how many years ago? Oh my God.
Yeah.
See, we're celebrating 10,000 subscribers here, but next week for the live stream / podcast episode, we celebrate 400 full length episodes.
Yeah. Yep.
So we've been doing this for a hot minute. I'm like, oh my God, how old is 30 Days of DS? I think from 2017, 2018.
That sounds about right.
The workbook form that we have on Etsy, I highly edited and redid after a few years, but still. But yeah, share your resources. Start with something fun. Little baby steps at first.
Mm-hmm.
The more comfortable your partner gets and the more into it they start to get, you can kind of pick up the pace a little bit. But yeah, keep it as pressure-free as possible. Keep it as fun as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And then as your partner gains experience and y'all can trust each other in a power exchangey way, then you can add the nuance and the depth and all the other stuff. Yeah. And the more they learn about things, the more they'll discover their things they want to do and they want to try.
Correct.
Ooh, and for a new dom, I always like to, because you always bring it up and that's why I always remember it. Online and in-person communities will have dom roundtables and dom meetings where doms can get together and learn from one another and talk to one another. And I think those are helpful for a lot of new doms.
Yeah.
I am burning up hot. And I'm unscrewing my microphone. I do not know what that's doing.
That would
to the microphone.
That would not be a good thing.
Let's see.
So the consensus in the chat on the cookie crumble cookie, sorry, is okay. Give me a second. If you stay with the chocolate chip, you're good at some of the other flavors that aren't.
I know, and I know, like the guy I've seen on Instagram. I'm sure he's on TikTok and everywhere else, but I watch Instagram. It's been really hit or miss for some of their specialty things. And actually the ones he ends up liking more often aren't the cookies or like the little like cheesecakes or the little pie ones, and they're not really cookie ones. I don't know.
Right back.
Thank you, Vox. I'm so glad y'all are here for the chaos because I don't know how to do it any other way. Every time I try to do it another way, I get bored and then I don't want to do it, and it feels like work in a way that I like perceive as negative, and so then I'm like, let me just be myself. That has worked for other people. I'll try that too. Oh my gosh, now JB is being wonderful. I think he's bumping the air, but we have to admit that it could be my own internal combustion engine working against me. I've now had sugar and the smallest amount of alcohol, and I'm talking, but we are sitting under bright lights.
Bright lights. No.
See, Claire, that's what I keep thinking because there's so much frosting on the crumble cookies. I mean, even if I don't like the cookie that much, I might like the frosting. Oh my gosh. Feel free, y'all, to ask your questions. We're going to do just spoiler for anybody who maybe hasn't heard from last week's episode. We are going to make Wednesday, episode 400, a Q&A episode. I'm going to ask for questions from Instagram. I have not been active enough there for a while. So we might not get a lot, and if that's the case, I'll open it up to live chat for the stream. But, yeah, so... But... it's hard for timing and for everybody to get a question in, and so I like feeling helpful in the middle of being chaotic, because I'm still not, for whatever reason, completely fully comfortable just being my chaotic self. Like I do have that internal thing of I need to be useful. You do not need to be useful. I would never tell another human being that in order to have value, they needed to be useful. I would never, ever. And yet, my inner voice is like, well, if you're not helping people and having a point, why are you even here? There's lots of things I would do if I could get over the fact that there doesn't need to be a point, and it's okay if only 4 people know you did it. It's okay. I have a lot of work to do on myself. I'll get there eventually. Instagram sponsored ads tried to fuck with me today. Scrolling through Instagram. I think I told you about it, and it's clearly a paid spot.
Yes.
And it's from a telehealth therapeutic blah blah place, and their whole thing is, ooh, we take your insurance in your state for like autism assessment. I didn't see anything about ADHD, but they were like, they understood about ADHD. I was looking at it, I'm like, oh, in Florida, let me check. Then I found the fine print. The fine print said that the only insurance they took in Florida was not my insurance. I was like, you lie. And then they're like, oh, but without insurance, the self-pay is $950. I was like, no, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Eva, no, Lola is not getting up for these early morning walks. First of all, if we took her on these walks, we would not walk anywhere. We would get down the street.
She is a sniffer, not a walker.
Right, which is fine. When we take her on those walks, that's supposed to be good for them mentally and whatever. But she doesn't even get out of her crate. No. She'll get out of her crate when we get home, because then we smell of the outside, and she would like to sniff us, please. But at 5:30 in the morning, she's not getting out of her crate. No. She knows she's not getting fed breakfast yet, so why would she get out of bed? Right. And, I'm a little bit like, same girl, same. It's the cats who chase us through the house. It's really Ella who chases us through the house. She's like, where are you going? What are you doing? Why are you not in the food place getting me the food?
If Onyx really gets hungry, she will find something.
It's true. That is so true. Like the top of the cake I made the other day. I had to leave the cake out because it needed to cool before I put frosting on it. And if I had put something over the cake, there would have been condensation, and then it would have been like sweaty and kind of damp and like gooey. So I had to leave the cake out, and she took a fucking chunk out of it that I then cut off very carefully. And it was okay because only those of us who already live in the house were going to eat this cake. Like, that's not when I would have served company or the public, but still. Yeah, Onyx is going to eat. She's not worried about you. No. It might be the smallest little bug you did not know was there. She will eat.
She will find it and eat it.
Andre is being chaotic himself. And says, so you hit 10K. That means, likely, a lot of people don't know why you hate the handle loving DS1.
Spoken like a true sadist right there.
Fucking hate that handle. Okay. It's the Instagram handle. For folks who don't listen to the audio podcast, so you don't hear me say this very often. I say it every fucking week on the audio podcast on the intro. And I've had very well-meaning people go, well, why don't you just change your handle? If I would, I could. When I set up the Loving BDSM Instagram account the first fucking time, we were at Loving BDSM. I was happy as a fucking clam. I was like, yes, I like it when we get our name. I like it when BDSM can be in our name on a platform. This is delightful. And then something somewhere got reported. We probably hit the non-kink side of the internet. And it was one of those things that we never posted anything inappropriate on our Instagram. Instagram is Facebook. Facebook is Instagram. I know not to do shit like that. But whatever the fuck we posted, and I used a non-kink hashtag like a dumbass, I knew then not to do that too, but I did it anyway. We didn't just get that post taken down. Instagram yanked our whole fucking account. So you can't get the name you had. Like, if they completely deactivate you, you don't get that name back. And at about the same time, Facebook, Meta, whatever they want to call themselves today, started getting really strict about what groups of letters, what words could be in a fucking name and in a handle. So I couldn't get anything with BDSM back at the time. I think they've changed some of those rules since, but so I had to try and get something that incorporated our name that sort of was like, maybe if you know, you'll know what this means. And the closest I could get, I couldn't even get Loving DS, because at least DS was power exchange. No, because that was too short. So I had to add a fucking number. So every time I have to tell somebody what the Instagram and now Threads handle is, I am annoyed all over again. Every fucking time. Every fucking time. So fucking annoying. So, there. Chaos King. Okay, Pinky has another question. It's fine. You can have multiple questions. No problem there. I've handled breakups fairly well, but this is my first daddy little breakup. Ooh. Hurts like crazy. Feels like I lost my identity. 6+ years together. Any advice to heal? 6+ years together is a long fucking time. Any power exchange that anybody goes through is going to be inherently personal. It's going to be deep in its own way. You're going to have these ties to one another that when they are broken apart, it doesn't even matter the dynamic. But as a baby girl, if I somehow did not have my daddy, y'all would find me wandering up my neighborhood streets just mumbling to myself. I wouldn't even know what to do. Oh my God, I can only imagine. Thing is I don't have tips or tricks to help in that process other than you gotta let yourself go through that process. You know, your grief is real. That's a real thing. It doesn't matter if nobody died. It doesn't matter if you were, let's say, never married. That doesn't matter. You had a long-term committed relationship to one another. However y'all defined it, however y'all negotiated it, that was a commitment. 6+ years is a long fucking time.
Yeah, it is.
And you are grieving the loss of something. You're probably grieving the loss of lots of things, not just the relationship, not just the intimacy with that other partner, but how your identity was tied into each other, your daily habits and rituals and routines. Like everything must be different now. Let yourself grieve. Let yourself be sad. I know I often say don't let yourself sit there and wallow in it too long, but I'm usually talking to somebody that was with that person for 2 months. 6 years? You kind of get as much time as you need to like go through the roller coaster that is the grieving process, because it's not linear. It's forward and back and forward and back and up and down, and you know, you'll think you're doing good one day and then a memory will happen or something will happen that reminds you of a thing, and then you're in your feelings again. That's the thing. Let yourself grieve. Do not try to rush yourself through this process. And if you have kinky friends that don't currently immediately remind you of the relationship you've lost, if you have kinky friends that you can lean on them, because quite frankly, most of the time only our kinky friends get it. You know, it's hard to tell a non-kinky friend, well, you see this person that I allowed to have some level of control over my life, they're no longer there having that control over my life, and I'm like a lost little duckling and don't know. Like, our vanilla friends don't have a fucking clue. Like, they really don't. So if you've got kinky friends that who get it and are good friends, like, lean into that, because What would you say?
I would say take care of yourself. Self-care through something like this, especially, you know, after the time that you had been together, take care of you, because you matter. And I think the only other thing I would say that you know, try to make new routines. You know, go do things you haven't done before, try new hobbies, things like that. Just something to get you occupied, you know, and different than you have done before.
If there were things that, for any reason, doesn't matter what, that you just didn't or couldn't or wouldn't do, that you enjoyed, you liked, you missed, you would have done otherwise, this is a good time to go do those things. Because if they're not attached to the memory of another person, sometimes just the fact that you can go do something that doesn't immediately make you think of your former partner can be helpful. But yeah, a lot of us feel like we kind of just have to get over these things and get through them like as fast as possible or in a specific way or whatever. And my thing has become over the years, you just let yourself be sad. Let yourself feel what you feel. If, you know, everybody's personal point of, okay, now you're wallowing is a different point based on the relationship, based on who you are, based on what happened, like so many factors. But especially when it's fresh, you're not wallowing. There's no wallowing here. There is just feeling how could you not feel what you feel? So let yourself and honor that and go, yeah, this is real. And you don't have to justify yourself and how you feel to anybody. And if you have anybody in your life who wants to minimize your feelings, they need to not be in your inner circle for right now while you're going through this, because that's not a supportive voice that you need. So yeah. I'm still hot and sweaty. Okay. Lord. Loving DS69. I'm pretty sure at the time they would never have let me have that either. Yeah. Motherfuckers. Kind of makes me want to see if I could get Loving BDSM now, because I have seen so many accounts, Facebook and Instagram, where BDSM is somehow incorporated in the name, but I don't know. Teishi, there might not be a legitimate reason to fold corners, but sometimes it's very handy. I dog ear books all the time. I'm with you, Kim. I, too, am a book heathen. I also crack spines on paperbacks. Oh, yeah. I need that fucker to be able to open. I do not need to get a hand cramp trying to hold the damn book open. That's why I don't really like hardback books, because you can't really do that. They're paperback, man, I should be able to twist that thing into a knot when I'm done with it. I don't want to break it so pages fall out. I'm not like crazy rough with books, but
wow. If I had known this 10 years ago,
I cannot be actual perfection. That would not be fair to you if I was literally perfect. Everybody has to have some flaws. It's what keeps us humble. I don't consider that a flaw, but you do, so that's fine. I'm sure. No, a book is meant to be fucking read. Read it. Like, now I get it. There's a difference between collecting books and like reading lots of books, and some people do both, and some people do one or the other. I am first and foremost a book fucking reader. My books are lived in. Yeah. Lived in. And I don't mean like I don't touch them with sticky fingers. I don't like sticky fingers. We talked about this earlier. I'm not abusive to my books. My books. A well-read book is a well-loved book, in my opinion. But also, if I accidentally do kill my paperback, it's usually, well, depending, it's much less expensive to replace the fucking thing. But now that I've got these old lady eyes, I'm reading ebooks more than anything anyway, because at least I can make the letters bigger if I need to. Thankfully, I haven't had to. And I can make the screen brighter. And I can't do that with a physical book, which makes me sad because I have a whole bunch of physical books I'd like to read again. Yeah. But the lighting in our house just in general sucks. The amount of people who are like, oh, just go record this little video thing I need in front of good natural lighting. And I'm like, somehow we have the only house on the planet that does not have a window where you get good natural light. The lighting in this house is terrible. Terrible. And so sitting in the living room, which is where I like to sit and read, I can't read physical books. It's not bright enough. It's just so.
Well, and this time of the year, we turn our house into a cave.
True. I don't really want natural light to come in.
No.
It just makes it hot.
Try to keep as much sun out, keep it as cool as you can.
You know, Kim, I am actually technically I'm on a second set of books, and I'm sure the author is delighted, but it's not because it was a well-loved book. It was because I read the whole series, owned the whole series, had to downsize, and went, oh, I don't really have room for books. I'll just donate these, and then realized I really did want those books. Especially once we moved here and we now have bookcases again and everything. Thankfully, my mother went, okay, that's an easy Christmas present. Here's the whole fucking series all over again. Yeah, I just... Now there's a part of me that would like to have like floor to ceiling walls of bookcases to just have books.
Mm-hmm.
But I also if we ever get to a point where we can do that, I have to accept that makes me the book hoarder. That's the collection of books, because I will probably like never read all of them, especially now that I have old lady eyes. Which is the sad thing about ebooks and even Kindle Unlimited. I don't get to collect all the books I've read to show, like, physically, look at all these fucking books I've read. I don't get that anymore. I just have to keep updating fucking Goodreads. Silent, call me out. Silence, and speaking of Kayla's books, my latest Goodreads finishes have been interesting. Which ones are interesting to you? Now, y'all know if I start a series, I gotta read the whole thing, which sucks, because what did I just start on Kindle Unlimited? Ice Planet Barbarians, which is like 21 books. I am not reading 21 books of a series in a row. I will have to take a break. And actually, I'm feeling kind of sad, because whatever mental health problem made me read like I had been reading for the past 6 months seems to have cleared out a bit, because I'm not reading quite as voraciously. But also, I don't think Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon has caught me quite hard enough, because I'm not like diving in. Like, I started it and I put it down and I haven't read in like a couple of days, which that's new for 2024. Orkward Encounters was by an author, Sam Hall, who I've read many of the series, like the Ursa Shifters and then the Wolfverse, like Christy's mentioning. And so when I saw this like monster romance, I was like, okay. And it was really a sweet little story.
I even read it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not literature. Okay.
No.
It's not spicy at all. But it was sweet. I like that little universe. And there's only 2 books right now. The orcs and then the minotaurs. The second book. I enjoyed them. They were sweet. They were sweet. But yeah, and Andre, that is where every time I've ever let books go, we've been moving, or we've been moving into a space where there's no room for books. Yeah. I mean, I think it was DS Bunny who talked about library. Yeah, for years I'm a library girl, because there was no pressure. I could give the books back. I didn't have to worry about space. I didn't have to worry about spending money. And for years, I actually had maybe a handful of books that I physically owned, because we'd moved often enough, first marriage, and downsized, and there just wasn't any space. My kids for years have had, until we moved into this house, had owned more books than I owned, because I would just go to the library.
That's the only time I really cleaned out books, and a few times, at least one, I lost books, because I used to have the complete collection of Stephen King's Gunslingers.
Oh, yeah. We're slowly recreating that collection for you.
And somewhere along the way, it all vanished. Every one of them. So.
Yeah.
But yeah. Hopefully, we're not going to be moving from here anytime soon.
Well, real talk, in the depths of financial despair, we absolutely talked about it. We were like, does it make sense financially? And then we did the math, and with interest rate, if you see the headlines about people with crazy interest rates who are not fucking giving up their mortgage, we are those people, because we could pay half the price that we would paid for this place and owe twice as much because of the interest rates. Like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the house we live in.
Yeah.
But I do like owning books, but when I tried to set myself the goal that I would read all the books I owned, 1, I'm a mood reader. 2, the more I learn about myself, the more, if something feels like pressure, I will not fucking do it, even if it's a goal I set for myself. Like, I set goals for myself. I achieve goals, but some things I decide to do, I don't know, maybe it's when the dopamine dies down. I don't know. The moment it stops feeling fun and it feels like I'm feeling pressured to do the thing and I don't really want to do it. On a goal I set for myself where I have the freedom to go, I'm not doing this. I went 6 months without reading until I finally just went to the library and got a no pressure book. I was like, I get to give this book back. I'm not required to read the books on my shelf. So now we are collecting certain, very slowly because we're not spending a lot of money on books right now. But we are like collecting certain books, certain series. So like I am collecting the Katie Roberts series. Started with, is it Neon Gods is the first one? That series. I fucking love that series. Oh my God. I think I have the first 4 books in the series, maybe 5. I've got the Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon. We started repurchasing the Gunslinger series.
Yep.
We started repurchasing for you, or I don't know if it was a repurchase if you ever owned it, but we started collecting the Dune series.
You'd
way back, yeah.
Way back in the day.
We have the entire, what was that? We thought it was a 3-book series. They made it into a movie. The movie, Miss Peregrine. We have the entire Miss Peregrine series.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, yeah.
Do you like another drink?
I would. I was trying to think if I wanted another one of these or if I wanted to try one of the ciders. If you are offering a drink, feel free to surprise me.
Okay.
Thank you, Daddy. Oh, yeah. We got several books, not from the thrift store, but from the flea market. There was a stand that just had hundreds of used books. And yeah, in pretty good condition. But yeah, I haven't been into a thrift store for anything in a while. But yeah, when I go in, I do look at their books. My problem with books for buying them, if I know what book I'm looking for, that's fine. And yet that takes the fun out of book buying. But somehow, I don't know what is, I don't know. I don't have a lot of fun book buying when I don't know what I want and I'm just browsing. One of two things. Either I'll want a whole bunch of books that, the budget is the budget, or I'm terrified they won't be very good and then I'll like, I was a library reader for way too long. That and Kindle Unlimited. I love the pressure of, oh, I don't like this. I'll just stop and give this book back. Buying it means like it's mine. It's mine, and what if I don't like it? So then I try to only actually buy books where it's a continuation of a series, or books I really really enjoyed and I want to keep reading them, whatever. But then that's no fun because then you don't get the discovery part, and I just would like to live in the alternative universe where like I can just own any and every book I want and I don't have to think about it. But now I don't live in that world, so I have to think about it, and then I overthink, and then I just go back to my fucking Kindle Unlimited. So yeah, I am still hot. I know he bumped the AC whatever direction it is so that you make it cooler. I don't know. I'm not good with directions. I think we've established that. It's getting me more of a cold drink. I'm just hot. It's hot. But I have only seen Tiny Libraries, I think, online. I don't think I've ever seen one in person. Maybe when we lived down in the Tampa Bay area, maybe then, but definitely not here. I don't think I've ever seen one here. I think they're fascinating. I think if they help people actually find a book to read, I think that's great. I would never set one up because I don't want to do that. Wouldn't want to part with a book that I love. I wouldn't want to have to potentially deal with people. No. But I think they're cool. Our library runs a bookstore year round. Like anytime the library's open, the little bookstore's open, and they're really affordable, used books. And then I think once or twice a year they do like a big book sale where it's like all these books are $0.25 and all these books are $1 and stuff like that. I never ever go to those. I don't know why, but oh. So was it that all 3 berry flavors are in one, or is it that each type is an individual?
I do not know.
The can didn't say? You didn't look?
It just said triple jam.
Okay, so that tells me that all 3 of the berry flavors are supposed to be in here. That's how I read it.
Okay.
And it's blackberry, strawberry, and I don't remember what the third berry was. Was it raspberry? I don't know. I don't know. It's not bad.
Okay.
It's not as sweet as my margarita drink was.
You try. I didn't taste.
Yeah, go ahead. It's pretty color. Yeah, it's a little. It's not. It's just not as sweet.
Yeah.
The last time we got to go to London in 2019. Was that the year, or was it a year before that we went? But I remember there was a year we were walking down like Camden Square and...
We went 2018 and 2019.
I know when we went. My point is I don't remember when we did the thing I'm about to say. I had 4 parentheticals in my sentence before I got to the point. My bad. We walked into some like really unique, interesting used bookstores when we were in London.
Yes.
And yet it was there's a UK bookstore that's like their chain. It's like their version of Barnes and Noble for us. Can't remember what the name of that store is called, but I had to go in there to get a book by a British author / podcaster because I was not paying the shipping and I didn't want to wait until it was finally brought over to the US. So yeah, I did go into the chain store to buy the book I wanted. But
and that was the second time
we
were there because we gave ourselves more time to do things like that.
That's right. We did.
Yep.
We did. Yeah, I wanted to try the berry because when I looked, first of all, the packaging was pretty. And it caught my attention, and it wasn't just apple, and I was like, okay. But yeah, it's okay. I like my margarita stuff better. It's an interesting flavor. I can taste the berry, but in the way that like natural berries are not really all that sweet until they're like overly ripe, and then
Yeah.
like yeah. What else? We are still open for questions. If anybody has any, just please tag us. Don't spam live chat. And we can't answer questions that require a lot of context and backstory. Not in this form. Okay. I did my little spiel.
Okay.
That's true, Silent. That's how. Okay, so the 14-year-old likes to drink. Technically, it's sparkling water, but he likes the kind that has not just flavor but sweetener in it, like sparkling ice. I think is the brand that we got from Sam's Club for him. He drinks the Aldi version of that. So we were trying to, because that's how he likes to drink water most of the time. We were trying to find something like that for him in bulk at Sam's, and we don't know anything about sparkling water because carbonated water is just spicy water, and I'm not interested. So I've never really, I don't drink sparkling water. So we didn't know anything about it, and we didn't know how different they can be, and that most of them smell like the flavor and just taste like spicy water. So we bought a big pack of, was it the bubbly? It was bubbly. It smells delicious. Tastes awful.
Yeah.
Kid didn't like it. We're like, okay, I guess we're stuck drinking it now. I keep forgetting we still have some. But the only way I could make it palatable is by putting liquid stevia in it, which will make it foam up a lot. So you want to pour the sparkling water into a larger cup before you put your stevia in so it has room to foam. But it was the only way. Waterstones, yes, thank you, Mr. Fuck. That was exactly it. It's the only way I could drink it. So I probably could put sweetener in here, and it'd probably be okay. So, agreed. Clockwork. We bought from Sam's Club was having a sale on their big 24 pack of sparkling ice, and it made it worth it instead of getting the Aldi version. But it has a flavor in it that the 14-year-old does not like, and I just looked at JB and went, I guess we're drinking sparkling water that week. But that stuff, it's sweetened and it's got flavor to it. Oh, but regular sparkling water,
oh yeah,
no. Nope. Yeah, no. I think we still have 8 or 9 cans of that crap in the laundry room.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a fan of bubbly. But I also don't like LaCroix either. I've never... I don't like any of them. Yeah, right, silent. I mean, all of those, to me, the ones I've tasted, it just looks like it tastes like the fruit was in the room with the water. That's as close as it got.
Came? Yeah.
Clockwork, I love carbonated beverages. I'm a Diet Coke girly from way the fuck back.
You are. Yeah, you are.
My happy place is with a gigantic Diet Coke in my hands.
Fountain Diet Coke.
Fountain is the superior.
Yeah.
McDonald's Fountain is the top tier, best.
And Sonic has the best ice.
But a lot more places are starting to do that ice, and so I have choices. So it's a tie for me between Racetrack and Wawa. Now here's why. It gets complicated. Racetrack, because I am a member of their little app thing, if you get your drink, your fountain drink from Racetrack, and you put your number in at checkout or you do your app or whatever, it's $1. Any size, any day, big ass fountain drink, $1. Is their syrup to carbonation always right? No. But is their drink always $1 and they have the good ice? Yes. But Wawa has the machine where you get 85 kajillion flavors. And sometimes you can go in there and it's actually working and all the flavors are filled. But what Wawa does is they also have caffeine-free Diet Coke. So if it's late at night and I'm jonesing for a Diet Coke, I don't have to worry about, even though it's a small amount, the little bit of caffeine and then not be able to sleep. But it's more expensive. It's more than 2 times as much. It's almost 3 times as much as the Racetrack. But I get caffeine-free. Andre says, I'm going to my first kinky speed dating event tomorrow. Any advice?
Oh, wow.
I would say focus on having fun and not trying to put pressure on yourself or this event for any specific outcome. That would be my tip. What would be your tips?
Would be my tip? Gosh, I don't know. It's been, been a while. But, yeah, just have fun. I mean, that's, and don't put any, no pressure about anything. Just enjoy yourself.
Yeah. I mean, if you take it, if you think about it too seriously, then that's when you walk in and you're like, okay, this has meaning, where you might make friends, you might meet, who knows what might happen, but yeah, just don't worry about the outcome. Are you going to meet somebody that you actually want to whatever. I'm always and forever, I don't care what the theme of the event is, I'm always and forever going to advocate for hopefully make a friend out of the deal. And if you do, you had a good, like, you won the kink event, you know what I mean? But I don't know anything about speed dating, so I could not even. Be yourself, like, whatever way that means, if that's silly and irreverent, if that's like really earnest and like whatever, just be yourself, because, you know, some people might not vibe with it, but you don't need everybody to vibe with it. You just, you know. So yeah. Thank you. A bunny named Dragon. I was like, your name is getting cut out. Thank you. Pale tasting fruity water makes me angry. You know, I can get on board with that. That is not how I would describe it, but yeah, it does. It feels like a fake out. Like it's carbonated. It should taste good. It should taste sweet. I don't even expect it to taste like the fruit on the package, because I've been drinking fake and consuming fake flavors for 44 years, but good God, yeah. Oh my God. We can find caffeine-free Diet Coke at the grocery store too, but I'm not paying Diet Coke, Coca-Cola prices.
Yeah.
And my problem with store brand is some store brands I like. Publix, caffeine-free, and just regular diet soda, delicious, made with Splenda, so fucking good. But while we were dealing with shortages during early COVID times, I couldn't fucking find it. Coca-Cola, all Coca-Cola products are like crazy prices. It's ridiculous. So that kind of sucks. So I just buy a 2-liter bottle at a time, and I make that 2-liter bottle stretch a week until I can get back to Aldi. Oh. I don't even like grapefruit to begin with, so the passing thought of a grapefruit, that would just piss me off.
Any other questions?
No, not like there. I'm just reading the live chat.
Sorry. Oh, okay.
Forgot there was a microphone here and camera, and we were actually supposed to be conversing. I'm like, oh, people are saying interesting things. Let me go find out what. The only thing when it comes to a Diet Coke, a fountain Diet Coke, I prefer fountain. The order goes, for me personally, I know X disagrees, it's fine, we could still be friends. For me, the order is fountain drink is what's superior, then it's a little bit of a toss-up between 12-ounce can and the 2-liter bottle that has at least had time to sit in my refrigerator, and then like after that, then it's a weird toss-up between 20-ounce plastic bottle and can. Because if I'm drinking one of those bottom two, I've probably gotten it at like a gas station because the fountain thing was empty or broken, and they're never cold enough. It's not like I could just add ice to them easily. If I want ice for either, I have to pour them out of their container and into another one, and I will do it, but I don't like it. The only reason 2-liter bottle Diet Coke gets to be higher up on the list is because I just keep it in my fucking fridge, and then I pour it over my ice in my big ass cup, and it's tolerable.
You got your hierarchy of needs, your hierarchy of kink, and your hierarchy of Diet Coke.
Mr. Fisher, I am old enough to remember glass bottle, but I don't think I have had access to drink out of a glass bottle since I was a kid. Under 10 easily.
It's been a while. Yeah.
I know people can get them, and I think in the grocery store you can get them, but I never buy them. I don't know if I've ever seen them with Diet Coke. I've definitely seen them with Coca-Cola, like regular Coke.
Don't really see it down south here. Up north, I know in some areas of the Northeast they still have the glass, but they're refundable.
Oh wow, okay. I've seen in the grocery store, like I think like Publix, maybe Walmart, I've seen regular Coke, like the full octane flavors. I think I've seen Sprite. I think I've seen Coke of glass bottle, like little 6-packs. I've never looked for Diet Coke, but I really don't have any memory of ever having seen Diet Coke in a glass bottle. But actually drinking out of a glass bottle, I was a young kid last time I did that. Yeah. And I still remember stories of my dad telling me that was the superior kind. If you could not get a literal fountain drink made in front of you because my dad was of an age where he absolutely went to the counter at the whatever.
At the corner drugstore.
Right, yeah. I wanted to say pharmacy and that felt wrong. The corner drugstore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, and you could get it for like 5 cents or whatever. I was like, okay, Dad, you're old. I mean, look, y'all, he was old. He was 38 years older than me when I was born. So, he was old. So if he were alive today and I'm 44, he would be, oh God, numbers are hard. He'd be 82?
When I was a kid, it was Yoo-Hoo in a bottle.
Oh, I had Yoo-Hoo in a glass bottle. I'm sure they still do that. Was the bottle different when you were a kid versus when I was a kid versus 21st century?
I haven't really looked in a long time, so.
Silent, I agree. I'm not sure why we need Coke Zero and Diet Coke, but I have learned among people like I'm around that there's a definite dividing line between people who tend to like Coke Zero and people who tend to like Diet Coke. My mom is a Coke Zero girly. She's not touching Diet Coke with a 10-foot fucking pole. She will drink full sugar sweet tea before she will drink a Diet Coke if she can't get a Coke Zero.
Yeah.
But no, I tried to drink Coke Zero and I was like, no, this tastes too much like regular Coke and I don't like regular Coke. Now that hierarchy goes full sugar, full calorie Pepsi, but not Diet Pepsi. I fucking hate Diet Pepsi. No to full sugar Coke. Always yes to Diet Coke. I am on Sprite, diet or otherwise. I really only want to drink a root beer if it's a root beer float. I mean, I'll have a sip of root beer. I do not like Dr. Pepper or Mr. Pibb or whatever the names are of any of the... Nope. Did you see that Dr. Pepper edged out Pepsi as the second most popular soda?
I did see that.
Oh, God. Dr. Pepper to me tastes like cough syrup. I cannot... If you like it, I'm so happy for you. Don't like it, no. Orange soda? Grape soda? When I was a kid, that was like a super special treat. You did not get grape soda, orange soda very often. At least I didn't as a kid. But I didn't get soda very often. We were very much a water, milk, maybe if you were lucky, sweet tea house. So... I just can't get behind Dr. Pepper. And now the internet tells me y'all are putting pickles in your Dr. Pepper. It's Sonic. No. Andre asks, JB, when you are considering another partner, do you look for them to have characteristics or interests that I, Kayla, do not?
Yes.
Because you don't need more of this. You've got enough. Is that what I'm under? Look, I'm not mad. I think that's accurate. We know I'm in theory. I don't need another one of you if I were in the same position, because then I would just be thinking about you, and then be comparing that person to you, because I'd be like, well, that's not how my daddy does it. That would suck. Yeah. But so is it a purposeful thing? Like, not a purposeful thing, like it's an interview process and here, but like, is it because you're sort of more open to something unlike what you have at home?
Well, part of the reason that I look for somebody to meet is to have interest other than what you're into.
What I allow you to do. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of what it is.
Gotcha. So I guess my question is it does it just happen that way? Or like when you...
Do I do it consciously?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you enter a room and you're surveying, depending on the context of the situation, like I get it. You don't just like walk into random rooms and like go,
no.
But when you're
That'd
in
be
that
weird.
position, you're sort of assessing when you meet somebody, okay. Because you have to assess if they're compatible for you, like
Sure.
obviously. But if they were too much like me, you'd be like, it was so nice to meet you. And see, the problem is I'm pretty sure that you couldn't even say, oh, I know somebody who could be your friend, because I'm one of those people that either will really get along, which you would be very tired of very quickly, or it'd be oil and water, and I'd be like, who the fuck is that bitch? And I would say I hated them for and I'd point out all the things I didn't like about them, and then you'd be like going, oh, the irony. Okay. So, yeah, so that's probably good that you don't... that you gravitate away from somebody like me. You already one is enough. One of me, more than enough. So I'm going to go back to the people who are putting dill pickles in their Dr. Pepper. You do what you want to do. The craziest thing I allow myself to do, it tastes so good, is lime in my Diet Coke. I don't remember who taught me that trick, because it wasn't a thing that was pre-made. I was like, I think I was like sitting at a bar somewhere, and they were like, oh, you should get a lime. And I was like, I tried it, and it was delicious. And then for like 5 seconds, Diet Coke had a Diet Coke with lime out. Oh my God. I, who don't like to pay full price for anything, was buying that fucking Diet Coke. And then they discontinued it. And now in the big machine like the Wawa has, and I think it was Silent who pointed out what that type of machine is. Yes, that's the one. You can get ginger lime. No, thank you. It's not the same. But yeah, Diet Coke with lime is so good. No, I don't know regionally around the U.S., but in the South, the only time you're getting a citrus thing in anything is it's a lemon wedge in your tea, and that's it. And they will ask you, do you want lemon in your tea? And you will tell them no, and they will still bring you lemon with your tea or your water. But no, lime, I don't know. I was in country, might have been in a completely different region, but I had never seen it here in the South. But oh my God, I love lime in my Diet Coke. That's my special treat to myself at Sonic.
Now, see, there was one a while back. Pretty sure I still have the recipe saved. Dr. Pepper was part of the glaze.
Oh, yeah. Because didn't you buy Dr. Pepper? And I was like, why? Yeah. And then we let the 14-year-old just drink the rest because he loved it.
Yeah, he loved it. But yeah, used it for the glaze on the smoker.
Oh, no, I'm not. I don't want I'm drinking sweet tea. I don't want my tea to taste like lemon. Now, plenty of people do. It's a very popular thing to put in your tea. And also, then we have Arnold Palmer's, which are half lemonade, half tea. I am not down for that. I like lemonade. I love tea. Never the twain shall meet in my glass. Not interested. Not interested. Because for me, the flavor profiles don't work together. I know other people say they do. For me, they don't. My citrus, my tangy, lemony, needs to be kept separate with plenty of fucking sugar. It needs to be lemonade is what it needs to be. The strangest part of my life were the years I only drank unsweet tea, because prior to that, the only time I drank tea, it was sweet. And since I kind of got over unsweet tea, I decided it tasted a little too much like leaves, and I wanted to be sweet again. Now I only drink sweet tea. But I'm not putting lemon anywhere fucking near it. Oh, thank you. I don't like those flavor profiles together. Oh, thank you. I still remember the first time I went far enough west that I was definitely not in the South anymore, and I ordered iced tea. And see, in the South, I'm better now at just saying sweet tea, but there was a time, if you said iced tea, it was understood you meant sweet. These days, that's not the case.
Yeah.
Like, in my childhood, though, if you asked for unsweet tea in a southern eatery, they were very confused. Unsweet iced tea is very common now. But 20 plus years ago, the first time I went far enough west to be out of the South, and I ordered iced tea. It was not sweet. And so then the next place I went after that, because I thought I'd learned my lesson, I asked for sweet iced tea, and they were so confused. And then, so they brought me the little sweetener thing, and this is before I was okay with, I could handle and liked the flavor of some fake sugar flavors.
Yeah.
And the most sacrilegious thing you can do to a cold iced tea is put fucking sugar at the bottom, because then all you got is sand at the bottom of your glass.
Never dissolves.
And never dissolves. You're not getting anything sweet till you get to the bottom, and only if you tilt the glass all the way back and wait for the sugar to like dribble down.
That's when you need a straw.
True, but then you suck up just sugar flakes, and then there's still nothing sweet in your glass. Eva asks, says, we know Kayla could not take on a high protocol relationship. Andre's question makes me wonder if JB could take on a high protocol again. Could you, or would you? Obviously not with me. We already know that. That's not an issue.
Could I? I'd probably have to, dust out the cobwebs a little bit. Would I? Probably not right now at this point where we're at in things. And I'd have thought about that a time or two, about a high protocol, more stricter. But yeah, where we're at and the things we have going on right now, I couldn't even conceive of it. Yeah,
the mental and emotional focus you'd have to give to it.
Yeah. There's too much right here that we're trying to work through, and that's what's...
Yep. Yep. Mr. Pfister, I agree. My teeth should ache a little bit when I have a sip of my sweet tea. Now, I've mentioned it a few times. I don't talk about it much because I try not to think about it much. I'm trying to be more intuitive and just not put a value on food and blah blah blah. But for years, from just before I turned 30, a decade probably, maybe a little longer, I did not drink sweet tea. Would not let it pass my lips.
Really?
It's when I turned to Diet Coke. I needed sweet, but I felt like I couldn't trust myself with sweet tea. It's because I was trying to restrict too much, and there's a whole thing there, and I don't want to get into it because I did not put out a content warning on food and weight talk. But as part of we're not placing value judgments on foods that exist, we meaning me, I've started making sweet tea again. But it's also a thing I can get the 14-year-old drink that has calories in it. Should all of his calories come from something like sweet tea? No, but some of the things he's got going on, just let's get a little something in you. And I for that 10 years or so, I was terrified I would go overboard. I did not think I could trust myself to drink sweet tea, because there were times when every drink I had in a day was a sweet tea. That's not healthy either. And I actually do. If I drink sweet tea at all, it's one and I'm done. I'm not but yeah, I'm a good Southern woman who was raised and taught by other good Southern women. That tea is sweet. Sweet. And it's only it's a pitcher. I don't know. How big is that? It's not a gallon, or is it more than a gallon, or is it a gallon pitcher?
It's a gallon.
It's a gallon?
Yeah.
You don't want to know how much sugar I put in it. Some people would put more, but I'm at my limit for how comfortable I am with the sugar I put in. Let's just put it this way. I don't have to make sweet tea more than twice in a given week, but I have to buy the 4-pound bag of sugar every 2 weeks. And the only thing it's used for is to make tea.
Might need to dial back a little bit there.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, welcome, Vespa. That's awesome. 5 years of the podcast. Ooh, Lord.
Welcome.
Oh, my goodness. I can see you. Yeah, I could see you getting sleepy.
Yeah.
I will not feel that I'm tired until...
Everything's...
Yeah. I probably look tired. I don't feel it yet.
We both look tired. But, yeah, I'm just glad. No alarms tomorrow.
No.
Nope, no alarms.
When we were talking about when we wanted to do this live stream, and whether, Friday or Saturday, whatever, because I wanted to try a different night to give people who maybe can't do Friday nights an opportunity, whatever.
Yeah.
We were looking at, where in the month, what day, blah, and I was like, okay, whatever night we do it, we don't have anything to do the next morning, right? We don't have to get up to go to the grocery store. We don't have to get up to mow the lawn. We don't have to get up for any of that, right?
Nope.
So,
nope.
No. So no.
Nopity nope.
We are sleeping in tomorrow. Now, sleeping in, of course, is relative to our ages, but also relative to just how annoying Ella can be.
That's very true.
I still have those, not instincts, but that ability, like I did when the boys were babies, like the slightest noise, I can still wake up. I just have a better ability to fall back asleep now than I did. But Ella's meow is just grating enough that once I hear it...
You can't unhear it.
No. But I also still have my hands get pins and needles at night and my shoulder, so I end up waking up because I'm already just uncomfortable. So... No. And we do still have things to do tomorrow because they were things we were supposed to do today, but then we just didn't do them.
I know.
Oh, Eva, we were in the closets from the time we started in 2015 into 2016. When did we come out of the closet? God, I think it was not that kind of closet.
Yeah.
2018, 2017.
It wasn't that long.
I thought it was. Because I think it was when we added the live stream component that we stopped recording in the... No, that's not true. That's not true. And actually, I posted a picture in Patreon when we got our new microphone that we were going to sit around your desk.
Correct.
And record it. It was the one microphone.
Yep. Yep.
But it was like a
we started doing... We were still at the condo.
Yeah.
From my desk, that's when we moved to the love seat.
That's when we started the video component.
Yeah.
That's when we were at because we started it at your desk.
The video?
Uh-huh. We didn't do that for long, but and we were still in the 100s then.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So I said 2019 is when we started YouTube, but actually it might be either 2017 or 2018. Which means this 10K subscribers was hard earned, y'all.
Yeah, it was.
Thank y'all for coming in one at a time. No, in the past couple years, it doesn't happen often. It's still kind of rare, but is less rare in the past year. JB does have the ability to keep sleeping after I have gotten up. And that did not used to be true.
Mm-mm.
It used to be that he was waking up, even without an alarm. He was probably up between 5:30 and 6 and out the bed and drinking his coffee. And I would be maybe cracking an eye open at 9:30 if there was no alarm. Ooh, a glorious 10 o'clock. It's been a decade since I could do that. And these days, I might not get out of the bed, but if we're not awake at the same time, some weekends when there's no alarm, I'm waking up first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a couple times it's been you slept for a couple of hours after I got up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Now, the fireplace, that was when we were in the rental before we moved here. So that was 2019 going into 2020.
Right. Because we moved in there. Yeah, we started looking to buy a house just about when COVID started.
Yes.
At that time.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the fireplace, that was the rental.
It was still with a sad little camera, which is why the quality was so bad.
Yeah.
DS Bunny says, "What's the next goal, or will that be on the behind the scenes in Patreon?" I have not thought about the next goal.
No, I haven't really either.
I wasn't even willing to think about trying to get to 10K until we were much closer to it. Like it's, you know, it's like, okay, now this feels possible. You know, I think I started thinking about it when we were still at what 7,500. Yeah, because didn't we do we got to 7,500, and there was like, okay, the next, and we did a live stream. Somebody who's better with your memory than I am. But I remember really saying something a little bit more about it once we were closer to 9,000, because again, it started feeling,
at that point it started
potentially
feeling,
real,
right.
yeah. But no, I don't know what our next goal will be. I hadn't thought about it. Well, now I might think about it. I don't know. Do you have any goals?
I
mean, we have goals, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, not really. I mean, not any, anything I can think to just throw out.
Yeah, none that are top of mind.
So. But.
Yeah, I can understand why you get up at 4 a.m. Tayshu, especially with that many kids.
Yeah.
But I cannot imagine it. I've been fairly pleasantly surprised that I know for you 5:30 you might not want to get up, but that's kind of easy for you. 5:30 has never been an easy wake up time for me. Again, the neck and shoulder has been helping me just wake up at random well before the alarm goes off. But it's not been as hard as I thought it would be to get up and do our walks.
No, it's not.
I think part of it is we're not doing it every day in a row.
And that's why when I
so
part of the noodling for this, that was
so here's man, I'm a glutton for fucking punishment, okay? So we've said it a few times over the years on the podcast that the one place our power exchange falls down on the job every time we try is when I ask JB to sort of oversee some part of like a healthy journey kind of thing. Whether it's eating or working out or whatever. Like we start out strong and then it just falls away and I give up and he gives up and it's mutual, but we never actually have a conversation about it and officially end it. I have been wanting to get back into walking. For a while I was doing really well on my own. It was great. I was benefiting from stupid walks for my stupid mental health. Yeah. And then that fell off because the routine changed and everything got weird and blah, blah. So I knew I wanted to get back into it, but I could already feel the things that would like stop me and were stopping me. So I went to JB and went, okay, this is not like what we've done in the past, but can you spend some time thinking about this? Here's what I'm trying to do. Take more walks that I know are good for me. But here's where I'm like can you help me? I said, take your time to think about it. So he did, and he came up with a schedule that we're both on. So we're doing it together. It's only week 1. We'll see what happens. But I'm not angry about it. And usually I can tell how quickly we're going to fall off.
How angry?
What's going to happen is either if I'm too super enthusiastic, we're going to fall off because the interest is going to wane at some point.
Right.
If I'm not at all enthusiastic and every time we try to do something is a fight, it's not going to last because I can't sustain that kind of anger for that long. This, I'm kind of like, neutral. I am annoyed that every day we've gone on our 5:30 a.m. walk, I've been super fucking focused that day. So annoyed. I want it to work, but also I don't want it. I'm annoyed.
You don't want it to so blatantly work. Yeah. So yeah, but no, that's exactly why, because I knew if we tried to do every day,
Yeah, no,
it wasn't going to work. So
I wouldn't mind if one
every
day,
other day.
at some point in the future, the distant future, I was like, I would like to do this more often, and then I just did.
Sure.
But I'm not putting the pressure on myself.
Mm-mm.
Mr. Spock said 11,000 as a goal, a certain some 100,000 of views, winning the Nobel Prize in Kinky Podcast. Partly because I'm not paying attention, and partly because I don't find out until after the fact. There are awards out there for adult themed content. I never know where, like, that the time is open to put yourself forward. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah, they do exist. They do exist.
All right.
Eva said the fireplace was a nice background. I like the wide view of the kitchen, and yeah, a little socky. I know he'd tippy tap through the background.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, I miss Saki. I miss Saki so much.
Because that house was solid tile everywhere. So yeah, I used to.
Yeah.
Mm.
Little Saki. I miss Saki.
Yeah. He was a chill old dude.
He was a chill old dude. And I did not realize that he was my dog until I lived in a household with a dog who loves me, but is not my dog. Because Lola is your dog. Just like Onyx is your cat. And Ella is currently the 14-year-old's cat. And I got nobody.
Got me. Nobody.
You do not sit on my lap, nor will I let you, and let me rub your soft little ears. Or your butt. Now, I would rub your ears and your butt, but I don't want you sitting in my lap. That makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to sit in your lap, but not because I don't want to, mostly because I don't want to hurt you. Okay? You got a bad back. I am not a small woman.
Yeah.
I am officially bigger than you and taller than you. I'm not trying to break you.
Thank you for that.
I mean, I will sit on your face, but that's a different conversation. The problem with sitting on your face is these knees and quads and hamstrings can't handle it anymore. So we don't do that.
Well, that's why we're keeping up. We're
starting to
keep up the walk, okay? And, yeah. Yeah.
Silent, I need the budget for another dog. I would happily have 2 dogs. And X is probably right. JB would have 2 dogs and I would still have 0. We would have to go to a shelter or a rescue, and I would have to wait for the dog to like me more than JB or the kid. Like, everybody would have to go, and we have to see who the dog went to, and we couldn't bring one home unless it came to me.
Well, it was funny. I very clearly remember when we met Saki.
Oh yes, I remember that too.
That was.
He was so nervous. He'd only been there a few days.
Yeah.
And he was still so nervous. It was so loud. It was a rescue for little dogs and primarily senior dogs. But it was Yap City. Everybody was yapping. I think it was breakfast time when we went to visit or whatever.
Yeah.
But he was so nervous, and there was a loud noise.
A bowl fell.
And he went straight to JB,
and
huddled right next to him. And he was wearing the ugliest little sweater. He needed a sweater because he was skinny dog and short fur. But yeah, he was safe with you. And we went, yes, this is our dog. We'll take him home now. And I didn't think of it as him bonding with me because he would sit with you and he'd sit with anybody. But it was when he started getting sick.
Yeah.
That I recognized it. Because he would sit next to me and he was looking for me and he was letting me hold him. Oh God, I miss Saki. I miss Saki so much.
I know.
I don't think I could have a small dog that was not a chill senior again though, because the the bark of a small dog is just a little too piercing for my ears. Like I think I could get used to it if like I, over time, but I don't really want to.
Luckily wasn't
He didn't
very
bark
much of a
much.
barker.
And if he did, you were paying attention. 'Cause it was like, what is wrong?
Right.
Did Timmy fall down the well again? Like, what is happening here?
Yes.
But he did also hide his treats, his greenie treats, in shoes.
That's
and
true.
try to protect our condo from the squirrels.
Yes.
So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know.
Oh no, Mr. Spock, I do not want a puppy. Hypothetically, a future version of me desperately wants a puppy because I would love that opportunity to, like, not find a dog that's traumatized, and like maybe they might like water, and maybe they might like being around people, and maybe I could actually cuddle with them. But that has to be a different point in life where I'm sitting around going, actually, I'm a little bored. I feel like I've got too much time on my hands, and then I could throw my whole life into chaos over a puppy. But now is not the time for that.
Yeah, no. I mean, we've even talked that a second dog would, I think, be beneficial for Lola.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's really just a cost issue.
Right.
But yeah, no. I mean, I have loved Lola since we got her, but she is so calm now and sort of slow moving because she is almost 10.
Wow.
She is almost fucking 10, y'all. So she's an older girl now, and I think I am a senior dog mom. Because I'm not here for a highly active, and I don't want to go outside in the heat and throw a ball. I don't want to. But if we did get a dog like that, I would do what we needed to do. But I would be crazy about it.
She still gets the zoomies. She's not as zoomy as.
She only gets them with you. I think since we've had her,
she's only
maybe twice. She's gotten zoomies with me.
Okay.
And I didn't know what to do. I don't know how to play like you play, and we were both very confused. I wasn't doing it right.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
She and our relationship is I think the only person who is allowed to pet the top of her nose.
Yes.
I did that the day we met her because I didn't even know she would allow it, but I went to stroke the top of her nose and she leaned in and her eyes blissed out. Mm-hmm. And since then, nobody else has been able to do it and her be comfortable with it. I get to pet the top of her nose. So what she does is she'll get on the couch and she'll put her head on my chest, like right here. And I have learned that what she wants me to pet her ears and top of her head. She really wants me to stroke her nose. That's our relationship. Oh, Lord Andre, no. My next business will not be a doggy daycare. Oh, no. I want my mom to one day actually own her own property and land like she talks about and have a dog rescue. Because she would do
right
that
up her alley.
if she thought she could figure out the mechanics of it, she would. She fucking loves dogs. I think what I need, and I only have Saki as the example of this, so it's not data driven. This is anecdotal. I think what we need, I wanted female pets because I was tired of being outnumbered around here. Well, now the girls outnumber the boys around here, but I think what I need is a boy cat or dog, and it might like me. Because the girls, they tolerate me. Lola loves me. Ella loves me most when I'm getting her food ready.
That's Ella.
Right, that's Ella in general. Onyx wants me to pet her, but I am not trustworthy enough for her to sit on my lap. Your lap, sure.
Yeah.
Next to the kids in their bed, abso-fucking-lutely. Me? Oh, no. My hands are useful tools. I'm allowed to use them in service of Madam Onyx, but the lap is not a safe. My lap is not a safe place for her. No. No, not at all.
Yeah, she does. She climbs into my lap a lot when I'm at my desk.
Mm-hmm.
And she has this whole little routine, little dance thing that she does before she finally...
And then she'll curl up against your stomach and one arm, paw, leg goes and hugs him. And she leans one cheek against his chest or stomach, depending on where she's sitting. And then she looks at me and she just stares at me. Like a queen looking over at her servants and finding them wanting and lacking. See, I know that if we had gotten that orange cat from the shelter, that thing probably would have been like on my shoulder. I don't think I could have carried it. He was a big old boy.
Big, yeah.
Yeah. We could do with some orange cat energy in this house. I believe both girls would meet. I don't know. Ella, if she could be allowed to snuggle with some other creature, she would be happy because she tries real hard to snuggle with Lola.
Yeah.
Which mostly ends up being trying to put her whole face in Lola's ear.
Yeah.
Her lick between Lola's toes. And when she's feeling real brave, sniff Lola's ass. That's as close, and sleeping in Lola's bed when Lola is not there. That's as close as she can get.
Mm-hmm.
Every time she gets real close to Onyx and tries to do that rub up against her kind of thing of, hey, you're my people, and you know, we're here. Onyx bats at her and smacks her. So I think if Ella could have a cat to cuddle with, I don't know that Ella would calm down, but I think Ella would be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Onyx would lose all trust for us that she's gained in the past 4 years.
Start
if
from
we
square
oh yes,
ground zero with her.
She'd be living in the back corner of our closet and never come the fuck out.
Yep.
So yeah. I haven't had an orange cat since I was a very young kid. And that cat I got as a kitten.
Mm.
But and I think it was silent. I said mechanics, it was logistics. Yes, that was the word I could not search for. I was searching for and could not find, and the mechanics came out because I was thinking mechanism. Thank you for translating for me. Silent, I appreciate that. It's about 15 minutes till midnight. We are happy to take questions still, even now. Just make sure to tag us in live chat. Don't spam the live chat. And if it's too much backstory or context, this is not the right forum for that question. But feel free. You can ask a question. You can ask anything about us. We're fine with that too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the orange cat we came across at the shelter the day we got Onyx was so loving. It was huge. It was just so sweet. He wanted to be cuddled.
Right. He was that huge.
Yep. But Onyx was very playful in her kennel. In her, what we didn't know at the time was that had become her space and however long they'd had her. And so she was playful. She would play with you.
Mm-hmm.
But after that day, she never played with me like that again. That if we do the dangle feather thing, she will play with that.
Yes.
But the way she played with us on the day we adopted her,
no. She hooked us. She did what she had to do.
I mean, they had named her fucking Kit Kat. We had to get her out of there and save her. But I kind of wish we could have brought the orange cat with us. We didn't think we were going to have 2 cats, though.
No.
2 months later, we had Ella. Yeah. Because the oldest kind of was like, I want something to love. And I was like, okay, let's go get another cat. And his ass picked the most annoying fucking needy little shit. Oh my God.
Yep. Excuse me. Oh my God, goodness. 8 pit bulls, 2 cats, 3 rats, and a rabbit.
I could see how you get to 8 pitties, because
Yeah.
every time I see a video or a picture of
I
another
know.
pitty, I'm like, I love you with my whole heart. I would bring you home with us if I thought I could keep you fed. No, I've learned sort of not to say, oh, I'll never do this or I'll always do this. I do think I will gravitate towards pit bull types, though, as dogs.
Yeah. I admit, I was a little...
Stumposaurus Rex? Oh my God! You're right. At least she
Yeah.
was not named that.
Oof.
The Onyx and Ella get post-dinner zoomies.
Yeah.
And post-breakfast, like post-meal zoomies. They are racing through the house. Sometimes they're chasing one another, and sometimes they just happen to be running in the same direction.
I've seen them a few times. They run one way. Onyx is chasing Ella.
Yep, and then they turn.
And then they turn, they come back.
And Ella's chasing Onyx.
Chasing
Yep,
Onyx.
Yep. Yeah, Mr. Spock, I think you would lose naming privileges after that one. I do love sometimes when I come across like people who foster kittens or vets offices online, and they're making reels or whatever about like kittens or puppies, and the creative ways they'll name them. I'm like, oh my God, I would not keep that name, but I see what you did there and I like it. Yeah, $200 in dog food a month. I can imagine. We've got Lola on special food, and she's already $60 a month for her dog food, and that's enough. That's enough. But we have learned with her, it cannot have a single iota of chicken in it.
No.
Or she is just a scratchy, miserable mess.
Yep.
But she also did really well on a weight loss food that we found. I don't think that she's lost any more weight since that initial probably couple pounds she dropped, but she has not gained
any. And still see she has hips.
She has hips and a waist. It's like a little tuck in the back there. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have to, every time we're like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if we could get a cheaper dog food? We got to check that ingredient list.
Yep.
No chicken.
No.
She's, I think, asleep on the couch, or is she by your feet? And
No,
I can't.
she stayed in the.
Yeah, she's not even in here with us, y'all.
No.
It's weird. It's very weird. But she has I've noticed in the past few months, not every time, but more often than she used to, if she does not think she's being fed quickly enough, she is like talking to us like, come on, people.
Yeah.
Like, you used to be such a polite, sweet girl.
Right.
Is it the perimenopause? Like, what is happening? Are you having a hot flash? I feel ya. But yeah, and her tone is very... It's partly you're going too fucking slow and what's wrong with you, but also I'm wasting away over here.
Right.
Very judgy little tone. Oh, did you catch what the youngest was saying the other day? I believe, the 14-year-old very rarely just comes straight out and asks for things that he wants. He either kind of hems and haws around it, or he hints, or he'll ask me in a very quiet voice. But if he's not really like straightforward. I think he would like a pet rat. I think his second choice would be a ferret, and maybe a guinea pig as a third choice. I have made no promises because we are outside of my wheelhouse. I believe I offered him a goldfish at one point. And so
you got to think about that one.
I know. He brought it back up to me the other day and goes, "What do you have against rats?" I was like, "What? You don't seem to like them, Mom." I was like, "Well, I'm not a huge fan. I have known people who had rats as pets, and they were very happy with them. I just never contemplated it for myself. And he was like, I think they're delightful. And I went, okay, good, I'm glad. But he's not forthright going, can I have
said rat? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you know, a couple of friends I've had over the years, they had several. They were, you know, they liked them. They were. Joseph here, it's like, yeah, got rats, are great. I just have that immediate visceral reaction to thinking about rats that I have not overcome. I also don't know where the desire is coming from, but I also don't want to tamp down that desire. He doesn't ask for a lot. And what if that could be his emotional support rat?
We'll talk about it.
I'm not actually asking for a rat. I'm letting you know that this has become a topic of conversation.
Okay.
You should start noodling. Oh, what did he call a ferret? Angry Noodle? I think it's what he called The only thing I know about ferrets is pets, and this might be true of other things. I don't know. The only thing I've ever had are cats and dogs, so I don't have any experience. Is that ferrets tend to like run away and hide and get and then you can't find them. But I think that's true of all of the little scurrying critters.
And they have a very strong musk odor.
Oh, do they? Oh, okay.
Yes. Yep.
A lizard is one thing I asked him. I should have thought when he was talking about rats and then ferrets and then guinea pigs. Oh, and rabbits. He was like, I wouldn't mind a rabbit too. I did not think about lizard because I think I suggested a lizard to him at one point. I was like, yeah, we could do a lizard. I'm down with a lizard. I'm not going to feed them the bugs that they need. That would be an anybody but me job. But
So X says Danger Noodle is a snake and Ferret is a cat snake.
I don't know.
Or long cat.
I don't know. I like that he's expressing interest.
True.
Yeah, I think for me a snake is a step too far. I'm not.
Yeah, no.
No. And when he said guinea pigs, I got nervous, and only because there's a channel I like to watch, Beatrice Caruso. She's become more. She was a weight loss person for a while on her weight loss journey, and now she's just more of a vlogger. But I love her personality. I like watching her. She has guinea pigs now, and she's got multiple, 3, I think. She got them from the shelter or whatever, county rescue or something. But she'll be talking in her videos, or she'll be showing cleaning up after whatever. It looks like a full-time damn job, and they're making noise behind her, and I'm like, they're adorable. They're so cute.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, that looks like an awful lot of work. An awful lot of work. But yeah. So I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
The fact that he has said something to me 2 or 3 times now means it's on his mind.
Yeah.
I can't remember. What's a danger puppy? Swamp puppy, not danger puppy. What's a swamp puppy?
Swamp puppy. I don't know what that is
Why did
either.
I think danger puppy? Because I'm tired. What's a swamp puppy? My brain went to alligator, and I was like, you don't want a swamp puppy if that's what that is. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Murder Kitty made me think of a couple of reels that'll come up in my feed every once in a while. It's like either it's a zoo or it's like a big cat rescue. There's a person who works there, and they've got the long acrylic nails, and they have developed enough of a relationship with these very large wild cats that they can do scritches under their chin and rub their chest and their tummy, and I forget that those animals, if I came across them, would eat me. And I'm like, I too would like to pet the tiger. Oh my God. Yeah, no. No. Yeah.
All right, so I'll keep that in mind, that maybe something might be coming down the pike.
Yep. Yep. If he gets brave enough to tell you, he's
Then
serious
he's really
about it.
serious.
And I say brave enough, like JB is a scary entity in this child's life. He is not. Now, I don't know if I did something or it's simply genetic, but the youngest does not like loud voices, aggressive sounding voices, but he also reads aggression when it's not actually there. And so JB, for everything that he is and all the ways he has grown as a human, even in the time I've known him, he is still an Italian man with that tendency to sound like they're yelling when they're really not. And I can handle it from JB one-on-one. I can't handle it when the whole family's together and they're all yelling at one another. I'm like, why do we hate one another? I don't, too much for me. But the youngest reads most of what JB says to him as aggression. Even when he's really not.
I know. I've tried to tone it down when I'm around.
And I can tell. So yeah, when I say if he's brave enough to ask JB, it's because they adore one another. The youngest, the moment JB started going to more of his appointments, immediately perked up. Like there was a personality shift. It's been delightful, but yeah, that's how you'll know how serious it is if he asks you. Oh my God. What else could you name a tiger but Tony, Mr. Spock? It's Tony the Tiger. That's the name. There are no other. There are no other.
Yeah.
It's Tony the Tiger. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can feel myself fading. This is okay. I think I would like it more if the margarita one hadn't been my first. Because that one was so yummy.
You don't seem as enthusiastic with that one as you were.
No, but it means I'm sipping it, which I think is a good thing.
True.
I was thinking the same thing, silent. I was like, Daniel Tiger. No, that's for my kids' thing. Tigger, yeah. Tigger would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Tigger.
All right, kiddo. It's midnight.
It's midnight. We made it. But if I
did.
talk too much, then we'll be over the time, and then it'll be an odd number, and we can't do that. And we are tired.
Yes.
Thank y'all so much for being here.
Glad you could all join
during
us.
the live stream. For hopefully every one of y'all is already a subscriber. If not, come on now, help us out. We don't know what the next goal is, and it will also be arbitrary. But come on. Yeah, we love being here with y'all in this way. I cannot imagine not live streaming anymore at this point.
Yeah.
We love the randomness of our conversations with y'all. And we will celebrate 400 episodes next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully with y'all as well. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.